Folks, welcome back. My name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments. Today, we've got a nice little story. Bro, hope this package Gaties finds you well. May bring you joy and happiness like me. We won't read the whole thing, I promise everybody. Like others before me, I've come to accept you don't pick Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering picks you. Boy, that's a powerful line. And of course, Magic became a part of me over 3 decades ago, after getting made fun of and bullied in middle school for playing Magic. Succumbed to their teases and gave up Magic. I gave away all my cards, starting from Revise. I still remember going to my LGS and getting a Revise booster pack for $2.99 plus tax, pulling a dual land, and being pissed that my rare slot was a dual land. And always dreaming of the day to get the highly unpopular Black Lotus. We're going to pause there. First of all, you couldn't get that in Revised, but that is funny. So today we have a card purchase here. Per request of you all, I'm starting to pick up, I'll start to publish and film some of these again, since everybody was complaining. I went a couple months without showing collections and old Magic and different kind of other transactional things. I haven't been filming or sharing the Flesh and Blood vintage first 3 boxes in cold foils. I have been sharing Pokemon sealed box buying, Magic collector box buying, and of course Magic vintage buying. So today let's look at the card. So we have ourselves a Beckett 9 with you can see the subgrades, don't really care, but honestly overall it looks like a 9. When we get out the Rudy God book over here, it's been a while, and we compare it to other Black Lotus High, you can get an idea on here that you can see some of the ones with more yellowing. You can see the more clean white over here, the slight yellowing. You can see the surface scratching on some of them. It gives you a good idea of the variance and conditions. And even then, like, look how nice white those are. Yes, I signed my own card over here. And then you can see more of the rougher lotuses over here. And of course, we got a little black border collector's edition for kind of comparison there. So yeah, this is a very nice moment here. This is probably I think this might be my 40th unlimited Black Lotus. These are just the raw ones I don't keep graded. I just wanted to give you guys an example there. Kind of, I use that mostly for yellowing and coloring to kind of compare and look at it. Overall, I agree with the grade. I think it's a nice little minty thing there. Some people the surface always gets everybody. They see that lower surface grade. And usually the surface grade is accurate. I mean, I can look right here, and I can tell you all right now, if you look on, where's Rudy's tool? Where's Rudy's tool? Hold on. There we go. I can tell you all right there, I can see the dents in the card and the scratches on the card right there and right there. So yeah, the surface grade actually being knocked to the 8s, that's a correct grade. So I think the other thing, if you guys want to read the whole letter, you can, but I want to jump over to the other interesting thing I wanted to mention before we get too much into old Magic here. What did you think about SPY's run up yesterday? What was the date on this? Is there a date on this? Sorry. Oh, there we go. There's a date right there. Alpha Invest. There you go. So this was on April 6th when this transaction was completed. So by the time you watch this is probably only going to be maybe a month and a half old. But this is the thing that just be careful out there, everybody. Mike, I know who you are. You're the one who typed this and sold me, and I appreciate the transaction, but just be careful on this. In the run-up of SPY, my calls on SPY printed yesterday while others place puts. Intraday, they call me crazy. So again, I personally do not engage in options and derivative type of, I'm going to call it gambling what it is. I believe options and derivatives were designed for professional money management and designed for people who hold large positions in the market to hedge extreme swings in the market. I'm happy that obviously you must have made some money on some options trading. Sounds like you bought some calls, maybe some 0 DTEs, day till expirations, and maybe you hit it and maybe 2x, 5x, 10x your money. That's great, but please be careful with that kind of stuff because that's great. But as most gamblers will tell you, they will not share the stories of losses, and they will not share with the all-time gains and losses, as they always say. They'll only share you a snapshot that takes the data out of context. So please be careful, ladies and gentlemen, in the world. I understand brokerage firms and Robinhoods and all of the, honestly, TDs and Interactive Brokers, Fidelities and Deutsches. I mean, all these banks will offer you, and it's very easy for anyone to get involved with that. And remember, options trading, to me, is options gambling. Yes, you can make huge swings upwards, but that also means you're opening yourself up to almost zeroing and nuking your account. And you guys know my perspective. If you cannot live to fight another day, if it's a financial choice and if it goes wrong, if it has the ability to taking down the house or knocking out the house of cards, that is not a financial choice I would ever recommend. It's all about the risk side, not the reward side. And that's the most important. That's the difference between kind of many amateurs and professional money managers. Remember that, everybody. So today, while we have that card, that's really it. I'm about to make another video announcement that's going to probably shock people quite a bit, but now that we've had serialized cards, I'm going to kind of go ahead and hint in this video, but I'll make another video on it. Serialized cards have been around now since 2023, and more data is coming out about stability and true value of them. Yeah, I am going to start actually purchasing serialized cards and making a move in that market in modern Magic serialized cards. Yeah, I haven't said anything about it yet. I've been kind of very quiet. I've been buying a few with my own personal money, but it's something that the market is definitely accepting, and it does look like serialized cards are going to be an important thing in the future with Hasbro and WotC. Whether or not we all agree with that, the market is definitely voicing its opinion based on its pricing, and the market is telling us the market is happy with a silly little number on a card. So anyways, let's go into a few comments with you all about how Rudy feels. I know you guys like to look at old stuff. How Rudy feels about old Magic and everything. We got the God book out today. It's been a very long time since we pulled out the God book. I'm going to make it, let's get a couple bullet points for those who don't want to stick around out in the open. Number one, I do not believe vintage cards are going to experience a bull market anytime soon. I'm going to get that front and clear. You only buy these cards and deploy this kind of money. I mean, you're talking this is even paying him, even paying Mike on. This is not a couple $1,000 card. You know, these cards are very, very expensive. No, it's not a gold gem mint 10.869, but still, even play Lotus like this. I mean, these are $10,000, $20,000 cards, okay? If you're in the perfect 10s, you can go higher than $10,000, $20,000, even for a whiteboarded on Lotus. You guys know the Unlimited Lotus is my favorite out of all the Lotus. I know we love the Alpha Lotus, which again, I get it, the Beta Lotus, but this has always been my favorite, okay? I'm never a fan of the collector's edition ones, but I like to use it as kind of just kind of a good little thing to kind of just, I don't know, use as an example. But so if you are going to make moves or buy into this kind of stuff, just please understand that, you know, if you decide to do it, make sure this is stuff that you're interested in, okay? Because you need to accept that you may be buying into something like this, and guess what? The price may not go up or down for a very long time. It could be dead money, okay? This kind of stuff today, the mark is out of favor, okay? Now, if you have the capital, if you have the discipline and mindset, this is also the time for accumulation and not selling your stuff and kind of sitting tight. So depending on your situation is going to depend on kind of what you should be doing right now, okay? But when it comes to this kind of level, you need to be extraordinarily cautious with your cash flow, your time horizon, and don't get wound up in the hype of things. You know, you could have an unlimited Mox Pearl, and they could be $2,000, $3,000, okay? And they could sit there and be the same $2,500, or a Sapphire, let's just say $3,500. It could be the same price for the next 4 years. And you're better off taking, you know, 10 grand instead of buying 3 of these, putting it into, you know, some sort of 5% interest earning accounts, or throwing it into the S&P, or getting yourself a rental property, depending where you are in the world. So this is something to remind everybody, this is a good moment. When you buy things like this, you do it because you enjoy it. You know and I know that the king of all investments is usually the S&P 500, Rudy's fave. But at the same time, the reason we all collect and invest and do this stuff with vintage Magic is because we simply enjoy it, okay? That's it. We enjoy doing this kind of stuff, and we believe that it will retain value and have some sort of future growth. No one's ever claiming this stuff will outperform the new stuff, outperform the S&P, outperform Pokemon, outperform some new sorcery, Weiss, Lorcana, Star Wars, you know, again, One Piece. It doesn't matter what the new kid or the hottest thing on the block is. There is no way to predict and be able to navigate and hedge all the variables in a modern society. We buy these things because we enjoy them. That is number one. And we like to see if we can make money and growth and all. That is all part of it. No one's discounting that, okay? But we do not buy these things, and at least I'm not aware of. There is no YouTuber or influencer that is buying these things that is pretty much saying this is going to outperform everybody. And if they are, that's just not right. I mean, these type of things do retain value and historically have a strong probability of having growth. But these are still a hobby collector investor thing. Okay? Again, this is my personal God book type. Oops, I didn't mean to knock the camera there. This is my personal God book type situation for my unlimited cards. And personally, it's a very special thing to me. This is like my life's work. This is stuff I've been accumulating and buying and dealing with for, a very, very long time. And this is stuff that's, it's, yes, and today, 2024 standards, some of you are going to watch this and be like, holy shit, that binder's in the millions. And yeah, it probably is in the millions, okay? And there's parts of the front of the binder that, I haven't exactly shared and all that are probably, I don't even know. Where am I at? I mean, here's beta now. I mean, in the front area, but that we're not really. The point of it is, this kind of stuff is always going to retain a certain amount of value, and I still maintain the Rudy museum quality, blah 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 kind of thing. Okay, so I don't really think people should take it out of context, and I don't think people should go out of their way and you should never use leverage, because as you learned in 2022 and 2023, we can go through times where it's just straight negative 10, 20% a year, and if you're leveraged, you may not make it to the other side to experience a new market cycle. Okay, so I felt this was a good moment in a nice short video today to remind everybody of where we've come from. Big bull run and everything, 2020, 2021, big crash, 2022, 2023, Magic 30, Mark Middlewater and Cynthia still slipping cigarettes in Lotuses, all the way to 2024 now, where new Magic and popularity of Magic and Pokemon's never been better. But this stuff that Rudy's got tremendous money in is not in season. It's not a sector of the market that's very desirable right now. Now, you're going to see comments below. There's going to be some old farts out there that are going to be freaking out saying, oh my God. But you have to remember, you are seeing right now, like a God book like that, that's something that's an accumulation of almost 20 years of my life. Okay? And I'm 39. Of accumulation, collection buying on my own. And I started buying and building that binder in 2003. Okay? And again, these are all the ones that obviously I haven't graded. And obviously graded ones are obviously not in the binder. So, conclusion, I do believe there will be another cycle in the future where vintage Magic becomes in favor again and does very well. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. This is still going to be, I think we still have, it could be, and I really kind of cringe saying this, but we could be a 3 to 5 year, and it could be a lost decade. It's low probability on the bell curve, but there is a chance of a lost decade, where this is year 3 after the 2-year crash, where we could go 7 more years, and we could have a full 10-year decade of absolutely zero growth, zero excitement, and it just exists, and it's just flat. Inflation outruns it. The S&P 500 over the next 10 years doubles and triples. Interest rates stay 3 to 5% for the next 10 years. Real estate doubles in 10 years. Everything, Bitcoin's at, 100,000, 250,000, 10 gazillion. We don't know. No one does. And unfortunately, I don't have the solution or the get-rich program for you guys. All I can do is share things with you all, give you all Rudy's thought process, report to you all the pops and drops in the news and the market between all these different things. Some things continue to do really well. Some things crash and burn. Some things just do nothing. They just stay flat. And that is the world we're in. The problem is, and what the billion-dollar question is trying to be able to predict what the next cycle is going to be. What item is going to make it to the next cycle? What item is going to be the hot thing, right? That's really what matters. Because no one's really arguing, like, if cards have value or if things are going to go up. No one's really arguing that. Everybody argues, well, in this world, especially in collectors and the internet. If you take out the game piece army and the dumbass people who just want to be and just conflict and drama. The only argument out there is people just trying to pick kind of which is going to outperform the other benchmark, you know? Well, Rudy, why buy anything with Magic? Why even pay this guy 10, 20 grand for a Lotus when you could just take 10, 20 grand and buy modern Pokemon like you always do and just get an extra pallet? Well, first of all, a pallet of Pokemon is going to be way more than, $20,000. First of all, you're probably looking at 50,000 plus, depending on the set. Even if it's Scarlet Violet, But, when you could just buy that, Scarlet Violet or Sword and Shield, wait 2-3 years, and it's pretty much, if you bought, I don't even know what's an example right now, a Pokemon Silver Tempest for as of the filming of this video, $135 for Silver Tempest box. If you put 50 grand in the Pokemon Silver Tempest booster boxes, the probability of those $140 Silver Tempest boxes being $300 and you double your money within 5 years is so astronomically high, and the odds are so in your favor. That's the point. Versus, Rudy, well, if you pay $16,069.69 for this, do you really think it's going to go to double and go to $32,000? Eventually, right? Right? That is the perspective of arguing. It's about the degree of risk versus the potential movement. And that's how professionals look at things. And that's why when people message me saying, Rudy, I don't get it. Why doesn't some really big billionaire just corner the market on a card or a Pokemon set and just make a ton of money? Because it doesn't have the liquidity and it doesn't have the market cap size to be able to do that. If I was a multi-billionaire, I couldn't take $100 million and buy Sword and Shield, all the booster boxes. First of all, there is not $100 million of Sword and Shield booster boxes sealed on the open market that I could even acquire. Even if I bought every single box, every single day for a month, there's just not enough out there. Even an unlimited Lotus, which you can argue how many exist versus the print run doesn't matter. Even if I had $100 million to deploy just in unlimited Lotus, or just in any Black Lotus, I wouldn't have the ability to spend all $100 million buying Black Lotus eyes, There's just not enough on the market to be able to absorb and do that. It just doesn't work that way. There are certain scales and certain kind of floors and ceilings of different categories, So, which again is why, you have to remember, folks, Rudy's personal position is very, very diversified. So I think that'll be a good place to end the video. So just to give you guys an idea, I'm going to give you an example. So in the world of Magic, you have Rudy's massive new sealed Magic. You have vintage sealed Magic, raw cards, and graded cards. So you have all four of those categories of Magic. Then you have Pokemon. I have vintage sealed Pokemon, and I have insane amounts of modern sealed Pokemon. Okay? So then you move over to Flesh and Blood. I have all kinds of sealed Flesh and Blood from the legendary original trio of WTR Arc and Crew, and of course cold foils from the original era. That's my favorite thing. And then I have sealed Flesh and Blood in newer Fab 2.0 sets. You move over to Weiss. I have Weiss sealed. I have a little bit of Weiss single cards. Sometimes I watch the market. That's a different video. I was like, some of those SPs and Chase cards, they're so thin and underpriced. But anyways, and then you go over to different categories. Look at the new sorcery situation, okay? And then you go outside of the trading cards, okay? I have a tremendous position in 18th, 19th century European art. I'm a huge fan of it. Italian art, French art, German art, Austrian art. I'm a huge fan of 18th, 19th century art. You've seen some of the backgrounds of the videos. I love to get them. If a museum is selling a painting, that kind of thing, or a university or a school, or, I'm a huge fan of that. Then you go to real estate, okay? I have a huge exposure to real estate with rental properties and things like that. Then you move over to, obviously, cash and stocks and bonds. I have a tremendous position in liquidity as far as just cash earning, kind of cash bearing interest. And of course, tremendous everything from mutual funds, S&P 500, to a bunch of big S&P or blue chip individual stocks, just because I just do it for fun. And of course, I collect tremendous dividends and payments from that. And last but not least, you have alternative collectibles that I like. Well, gold, silver stuff, graded Federal Reserve notes. I have some fun other vintage toys and categories. And of course, to end the video, I have a large exposure to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I have a little bit of smaller coins, a little bit of just from patrons I've held over the years, the Cardano, Litecoin, Solana, Algorand kind of thing, and Tezos, and I have a few little things like that I have wallets for. But overall, the diversification between all of it, when you combine everything together, it's a beautiful picture. And that's how I look at everything. And this type of item is not acquired because I think I'm going to make a lot of money on it. It's acquired because I want to add to this particular position because this particular market is out of favor and nobody believes in it in 2024. So therefore, I am adding to this particular sector, just like I am with new modern magic. All the brand new Outlaws collectors, Ravnica Remastered collectors, Lord of the Rings, Ixalan collectors. You go back, Phyrexia collectors, and Wildsville Drain collectors. Holy cow, record high. I need to make a video on that. These kind of the things that nobody believes in. I like to go, like right now, I'm not buying Pokemon Sword and Shield because everybody wants it. It's the hottest thing. Yes, it's probably going to keep going and do well, but I like to go against the grain, and I like to expand in the categories that aren't moving. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks again, Mike, for the really cool card. And as it heads off to the Rudy Vault, I'm going to put everything away here. I hope you all have a beautiful day out there. As always, everybody stay healthy and wealthy, and remember, surround yourself with good people in this world. Surround yourself with people you trust, and surround yourself with people that better yourself and make you make better choices and help you, give you excitement to wake up in the morning. And of course, make sure you watch videos that help teach you, help your perspective. Don't get sucked into the drama stuff on anything, any category of life, because it weighs you down. And before you know it, you're just swiping right on a bunch of chicks that are dancing on your phone, and you're getting wound up looking for the next scandal or some drama. It doesn't help you move forward, puts you in a bad mental state. You'll have a beautiful day.